Hey Gemini, EverlongMystic here. So it's shadow reading time, and you wanted me to use the Murder of Crows deck to do yours, which is a nice shadowy deck. So we're going to look at a few things and then get some advice. So let's go ahead and get the cards out. Alright, so we're going to look at a desire. We're going to look at a fear. We're going to look at a sacrifice, a result of that sacrifice, something that's helping you, and an illusion to beware of. The advice is over here. Okay, and then for the advice, I will pull an oracle card from the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous deck. All right, so desire. What are we desiring? Oh. So you want to be recognized, you want credit for something, you want to be special. All right. Well, we all can kind of relate to that, right? I've got the Four of Wands here, and that's certainly feeling special, feeling celebrated. I don't know what these people are doing though. There's there's something else in this card, like not necessarily like the person of honor, which I would think is you, would be you in this scene, Gemini, but I don't know. I mean, it's like they're setting up, right? Like you've got these figures putting the posts up, with some kind of garland. They're setting up. So there is some kind of preparation here that is, it's just really sticking out. So you're preparing to be successful, preparing to be acknowledged somehow, preparing to be the star of the show, and that's what you desire. It's like you want it's like it's not just the event itself, Gemini, it's the preparation of it. You want the preparations to start already. That's the desire here. So what is a fear? What is a fear that you have right now? Ooh, yeah, okay, I could see that being a fear. So we have the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is can be very intimidating because the Knight of Swords just totally, it's like the first one to rush in. You know what I mean? He's the first one to rush in. And it feels like someone who thinks they know better than everyone else. And I want to say, just because there's always something weird about the horse. The horse in the Knight of Swords cards, like in the typical like Rider-Waite, the horse actually looks terrified, right? In this one, the horse does not look terrified, and they're not running in to a situation, but the horse is looking directly at these preparations. And it's almost like the horse knows that this Knight of Swords doesn't really want this to happen for you. It's almost like you're afraid of your plans or your preparations or your moment of glory or whatever. You're afraid that it's going to be crapped on by whoever this Knight of Pentacles is. This person that thinks they know everything. It's like, and I mean, either you're afraid of the person, just that person, or you're afraid of what they're going to do to your big moment here. So here we have a sacrifice. So this is something that you sacrifice either to get what you desire, or a sacrifice you make to perpetuate your fear, okay? So what? Oh man. So we have 10 of Cups here, and it's not in a good position. Normally it's a really good card, even in this deck. But this is sacrificing your happiness. So when somebody sacrifices their happiness, it usually means they're doing it to perpetuate some kind of fear. I don't know, it kind of makes me feel a little down. I mean, I can relate to it, Gemini, but it's obviously not healthy. It's probably not something that you advertise either. I mean, no one likes to see anyone they love, sacrifice their own fulfillment, their own happiness, their own dreams, their own desires because of a bad apple or an intimidator or a bully, or you know what I mean? Because it's just there's an element of it just not being fair. Like you shouldn't have to sacrifice your happiness here. And just because that there's this big crow made out of light, like the clouds are opening, there's a big crow here of light, rays shining down. It's like I feel like that like spirit has something to say about this. Like it's like spirit is rooting for you, Gemini. Even this dude's horse is rooting for you. you know? I mean, I feel like there's some there's some support here. Okay, well, let's move on. So this card here is a result of the sacrifice. Six of Pentacles. Man, okay, so the result of the sacrifice, really. Okay, so you're sacrificing your own happiness, your own desire, because you're afraid of this situation here. This situation here is related to the result. Because by doing this gets to happen more. And this happening more is this, whoever this is, kind of controlling the show. I'm just seeing this almost looks like I don't know, like, I mean, it kind of looks like this person is a clown, like, or like a ringleader in a circus. You know what I mean? And they are controlling the crows here by, like, with the treats that they're giving them or something. They want to control the show. They want the show to be this, where they're in control, they manipulate everything. They may, you know what I mean? Like they have control. They're the ringleader of the show. But really you want this show. This is your show, Gemini. And I don't really think you want anything to do with this stupid circus right here. That's their plan. That's not your plan. You want your plans to start. But the more you sacrifice your own happiness, like the more chance that this will be the show instead of this. You know what I mean? All right, so let's look and see what's helping you, because I feel like that can be super important. Aha. So we have the Chariot here. So what's helping you is movement. And like this Chariot here, just pulled by two crows, it doesn't seem like crows don't really run that fast. You know what I mean? Like it may not be fast movement, but movement nonetheless. And I can't help but look at this moon here. Now, if you look at the darkness creeping into the moon here, like you've got the moon, but like, doesn't this look like half of a butterfly? It almost looks like the night, the darkness, that's half of a butterfly creeping into the moon as if it was a full moon. You know what I mean? Because you've got a full moon over your party right here. Your party is being illuminated, right? And there's something about like, like the transformation that's kind of lurking in the darkness, but not in a creepy way, not in a bad or scary way, but there is transformation available in the darkness for you. Because this right here seems like the darkness. And really, what's helping you is knowing that even if things look bleak, there is still opportunity to transform the situation, but also just taking a step. Like just take like instead of making a small sacrifice of your happiness, take just a step towards it. You know what I mean? Because that will help. Just a step towards it. And so here, this card here is an illusion to beware of. An illusion. Seven of Cups. I always find this card super intriguing because Seven of Cups could be a card of confusion or choices or options or something, right? But here it doesn't seem like there's a lot of options. This seems like a reckoning. This is like it's someone having a reckoning with spirit. And it's someone who wears a lot of shadow right here. I mean, like, it looks like he's got this huge black crow tattoo, like, covering his entire back here. And it feels like it's like woken up. Like a reckoning, like, hey, wake up. Spirit needs to talk to you. So, I feel like the illusion here is that just because, like, we've got this whole row with this whole situation going on with this person who wants to control things, thinks they know better than everyone, wants to orchestrate their own circus, show, whatever. I feel like this person, like if they took off their mask, their armor, that would be them. Like at night in their bed, and spirit finally coming down and really having a talk with them. So I feel like, yeah, so the illusion here is that you may not think this is happening, Gemini, but it's happening. It may not look like they have a relationship with spirit at all. It may not look like they will ever be put in their place by anyone or anything, but that's the illusion. They are and they will. But the best thing going for you right now is in this situation to get here is to just take a step towards it. All right, so let's get some advice. All right, so we're gonna get a card from the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. All right, for Gemini. Oh, look at you. I like it. You have you have Hades, the underworld. Right on. I don't know why I like this card so much. I like the underworld card. Okay, so Hades, the underworld. Now, the first thing that's really popping in is that is this here. Remember talking about the opportunity for transformation in a shadowy place, right? With this, half of a butterfly here. And then you have the darkness, you have the underworld coming out here. And also, with this underworld card, there is something about sharing. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't hate like isn't like Persephone shared? It talks about seasons, right? Like half of the year is like when it's spring and summer, there's abundance, there's sunshine, there's light. And the other half of the year, it's darker. Things start dying down, like the trees and the plants, and the harvest goes away. The cold dead winter, that kind of thing. But it's like it kind of talks of cycles a bit too. All right, judgment. So I feel like this judgment is kind of talking about this over here, this illusion that you don't think that a judgment may come upon this individual, but it will. It's almost like spirit wants to hey, Gemini, rest assured, this situation is being taken care of on the other plane. You know what I mean? Oh, I do want to read a little bit more. There might be something in the book about the underworld here. But I am getting something about sharing space here, just with the whole, like, I think it's Persephone, yeah, where she spends 6 months in the underworld and 6 months out. Like sharing space. Like it's possible to share space with this, right? All right, it says everything has a cycle and a time span. Death is a natural part of life. Plan a legacy. Ah, look what you're trying to plan here. Plan a legacy. What matters most? Knowing this helps you live a better life. Move through change. What ideas have passed their use by date and can be left behind? So it's about death and life, knowing and unknowing. Okay, so it talks about Hades having a bad reputation just because he was associated with death and darkness. So he was feared, but he was honored as well. It says Hades was not a particularly nasty god and even looked for love a little more seriously than his brothers. And then it talks about the Persephone story. Okay, it says here the underworld is a realm like any other, and one that, although full of mystery, is full of possibilities. That's this right here. Death is the step before rebirth. A fallow field with nothing growing is necessary so that things may be planted and spring forth again. The underworld, like our unconscious, is a place of infinite possibilities. And the crystal companion for that card is black tourmaline. I love black tourmaline. I have it right here on my table. All right, so this is your message, Gemini. Now it is trick or treat season, so we're gonna roll and see if you get a trick or a treat. Does Gemini get a trick or a treat? Left. So if you get left or right, that means you get a treat. You get an extended advice section. So I'm going to record a new video and I'm going to go further into the Hades underworld and the judgment here. And just look at the bottom of the description box and there will be a link and it'll say extended. And if you're interested, it's free. You can click on it and watch it. All right, see you later.